Leland Vittert, host of Unbalanced, joining us now for some more perspective. So, Leland, obviously there are a lot of optics here. The significance of a raid on a former president's home is unlike anything we've ever seen before.
Unprecedented in American jurisprudence. And obviously, President Trump is not the first former president or high-profile figure to have issues after he left office. And there has always been a sense of an incredibly high bar to launch an investigation into a former president and then to go through what would be the political ramifications of charging a former president of the United States. One thing I think we need to make very clear is all of the things we don't know this morning. We don't really know if this investigation is only about the retention of classified documents or if there is something else that the FBI is using to justify their search warrant. We don't know exactly what was in the search warrant, what the alleged information that the FBI gave to a federal magistrate to say we need to be able to go in to Mar-a-Lago. We don't know exactly what else the FBI is looking into. Does this have connections to the January 6th investigation is something that's a big question. The one hint we got, which was a big hint, in addition to Brian Enton's excellent reporting, is part of President Trump's statement where he talked sort of all about how things were unfair and he was being persecuted by the DOJ, and then went on to talk about Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails and how she destroyed classified information that was kept irresponsibly, potentially criminally, on her own email server, and she destroyed it after being subpoenaed by Congress. The fact that he said that in his statement leads you to believe that he knows, or at least thinks he knows, what potentially might be coming from the DOJ on this matter. And there's even a lot of Democrats right now, privately, not necessarily as many publicly, saying that if you are going to take this enormously unprecedented step of going and raiding the home of a former president, you got to have something more than the Presidential Records Act and a potential violation of that to cross this Rubicon that hasn't been done in the 250 plus years of the Republic.
So, I mean, when you think about it, and I know you said a lot there, the former President Trump has faced countless legal challenges. Of course, there's ongoing January 6th committee hearings, where the investigation there, the accusations of Russian collusion. He was cleared of any wrongdoing there. What happens if the suspicions around this particular raid don't stick?
It's a great question, and we would be wise to point out, as you just did, Adrian, that the initial reporting about so many issues surrounding President Trump has been breathless and largely factually incorrect. You pointed out the Russian collusion investigation as just one of the many times that so many on the left thought that this was a gotcha moment for President Trump, and there just quite wasn't a there. And it's an important question for all of those sort of celebrating this morning that President Trump has finally been raided by the FBI. If this all comes down to, hey, there were 15 boxes of classified data that were behind locked doors in Mar-a-Lago, which is a compound guarded 24 hours a day by the United States Secret Service, is that really the they are there? Now, you can argue that the law applies equally to everybody. That's true. But there's also proportionality that you have to take into account. And one really wonders what Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, has now bought in terms of a problem, because he clearly almost certainly signed off on this search warrant. But now there are all eyes focused on him to justify this major move by the Department of Justice. And already, obviously, from the Republican side, is, okay, great, where is the raid on Hunter Biden's house? And when are we going to see that? And how do you, as the Attorney General, 90 days before the midterm elections, justify raiding a Republican president's house? And yet, at the same time, we've heard so little about the Hunter Biden investigation. The Attorney General has now only upped the pressure, intensity, and spotlight on himself by a factor of somewhere between 10 and infinity.
Leland Vittert, thank you for putting things in perspective. You can watch On Balance with Leland tonight and every weeknight. It starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central Time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.